Their message for humanity is that, and it's the tenet of many religions, is that we need to become more loving, we need to become forgiving of ourselves and forgiving of others, thus stopping the wheel of karma. We need to focus on becoming more service to others on a daily basis. And we need to focus on raising our vibration and our consciousness.
I think a lot of us have known that something has been going on behind the scenes, something much deeper, something that we're kept in the dark. And so, when we hear something like this, a lot of us that are open-minded enough, not complete skeptics, but open-minded enough, we can relate to it, and we feel it at a deeper level.
In this physical world, we as in our consciousness, we come into this physical world and experience things for a reason that's specific to our own consciousness. The soul, I would say, is your consciousness. It's just an infinite aspect of what always was.
I would say it's important to pursue your excitement, what really brings you fulfillment, because that's the thing that you came here to do. And if you're not doing it, we are missing out on your, awesomeness. So just go ahead and be yourself and do what excites you, and life will bring you synchronicities and, events that will make it possible for you. But you need to trust the universe, you need to trust in yourself. A fan from my Facebook art page messaged me and said that Corey was looking for artists who can donate their skills to depict some of his experiences. Since that was what I was doing anyways, depicting different beings based on my own experiences or people's descriptions, dreams, and channelings, I thought it was a great idea, so I volunteered. I made a few depictions of inner earth groups based on the article that Corey wrote, and Corey and Gaia stuff really liked it, so I ended up signing a contract with Gaia, and I think I was the first artist that got on board. If I'm not mistaken, it all unfolded really fast. And I was excited to work with Corey because I was already familiar with messages from higher density ETs who are helping humanity with their teachings. And Blue Avian's message was in alignment with everything I knew to be true from my own experience. I was following information about Project Pegasus back in 2011, I think, so the information was not shocking to me, but what I found very intriguing is that Corey was in direct physical contact with various extraterrestrials, and I really wanted to sink my teeth into that and help spread the Blue Avian's message through my art. I saw it as a way of being of service.
I was reading blogs online, and I've had experiences with extraterrestrials, and so that's what led me to be following these blogs. I was reading a blog called Stillness in the Storm, and when Corey started disclosing his information, I was reading it, and a lot of it resonated, and it was very profound to me. And I then saw that he needed artists, and so I'd gotten back from California, which I was attending an art school there for a period of time, and so I submitted my portfolio and he got back to me. It stunned me, actually. I was thrilled.
Well, it first started with, I had been watching some episodes for a while at that point, and then my brother-in-law told me that Corey made a post on his Facebook page, and looking for artists. And so, wow, that would be really perfect for me, because it's an interesting subject for me, and it's something that I feel prepared to offer. So I wrote an email just as he requested, and I didn't hear anything for a long time. And so I considered, okay, well, he found all the artists that he needed. And but I don't know, a month or more after that, he writes me an email, and he said, I don't know if you ever got my first email, which I don't think I did. It could have passed through in junk mail. But anyway, that's when it started to develop. Were the early summer, I would say. No, even earlier than that. Springtime, sometime around there. Springtime 2016.
Well, I think it's essential to not have my ego involved as an artist, because a lot of artists try to have their own spin on their work and their own style. But with what Corey was doing, he needed these experiences to be realistic, and so I was very to try to interpret things in different ways and provide as many variations that I could with the different experiences that he was having. And so it was a very closely communicated process, but it was really gratifying because I could help him visualize these things, and felt good.
Well, I start off working on a model from the information I have from the episodes, and then go back and forth with Corey about the details that need to be added or corrected. And my main focus is learning about how the encounter felt, what the being felt like, what was their energy and intention like, and I tried to translate that into a visual that people can connect to.
Well, this is definitely firsthand knowledge. A lot of times out of the corner of their eye, they will see the shape of a human walk by, or duck into the next room real quick. And, you'll jerk around and look and just miss it. And it's happened with my children. They've seen them to where, my daughters looked up and they just stay there and let her observe them.
With Corey, I tried to work intuitively without asking about too many details at start, so I can practice my own senses and connections, but I also tried to get it as close as I can to his descriptions. And it's a very fun and expansive process for me. The more I was developing my own intuition through artwork with clients, the more I seemed to be able to, quote-unquote, get it right in fewer versions for Corey. And every time I work on a portrait, I try to connect to the being and ask them for permission to depict them and for their help and guidance, no matter if it's an inner earth group or a huge white reptilian. And I find them all beautiful in their unique ways, and I really hope I do them justice with my interpretations of their energy and personality. And as I started to connect with Corey's memories, I started having vivid dream journeys involving Mars and military training, and some of these experiences later on got confirmed by Corey before I even knew or heard about them from him. So I don't know if this is my empathy at work or I really had some experiences, and it really doesn't matter much to me at this point, as I believe I will know what I need to know when I need to know it anyways. It's definitely an exciting learning experience for sure, and sometimes very emotional as well.
Well, the first episodes that I did illustrations for were the Inner Earth episodes. And I had a feeling that they were, coming down to the wire. They needed to get some illustrations going for these shows because they were coming up in a hurry. And so it was a real rush for me that first week to get 2 or 3 done for that show. Of course, the deadline is a week or so before the show airs. So that was by far, I think, my favorite. Although they've all been really interesting for me, but the Inner Earth has always been a subject close to my heart for many, many years. So hearing these stories is just brought just tons of imagery into my mind, which I'd like to actually explore with my illustrations, and I'm about ready to do that.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Vasha's characters are excellent. I can't design in that kind of software, and we have different strengths, and we all work together really well. And Arthur's compositions are excellent, and we kind of just take the best that we have and we pool it all into one.
Daniel and Arthur are amazing artists, and I'm really enjoying working with them and seeing their interpretations of all of this. They're both very cool and enjoyable people who are also very excited about full disclosure. And that is what matters most, I think. They really put their soul into what they're doing, and I think everyone can see that.
Getting to know the other artists, I always enjoy that aspect, and they're both great characters. I appreciate what they have to offer too. They're very artistic, very creative, and we all do such different things that I think it's a compliment to the show that we offer different viewpoints and different techniques. I've only done a few collaborative pieces when we all contribute to one image, and that was really fun for me. There's one in particular, the Kuiper Belt meeting, where we all did contribute something to that piece. First of all, we took the description from Corey of the scene, and they already had the beings. The golden triangle head being that Daniel did great. He sent that to me, and then Vashta did the Unshard group, and also Corey in the jumpsuit. She sent that to me. So after I had developed the scene, I placed them in there. Tried to get the proportions right to Corey's side and Corey's size, and then refine it from there. Kind of blend them into the scene as much as possible.
We were in the wall of like a cavern, and there is a cavernous area that is so huge, and there are pillars that go all the way up to the ceiling that I couldn't even begin to estimate how tall the ceiling was. This cavern was the size of a state in Texas. It was absolutely huge. And built into the pillar were some structures that were built into the pillars, and they were bigger around than any skyscrapers I've seen, these pillars. They had several different types of vessels that you would see that you would associate with them. One of them is a very large wedge-shaped that is very much like Star Wars, the destroyers, I guess, very much like those. There's also a very large diamond-shaped vessel that they have. They have a very large pumpkin seed-shaped vessel. All we've really known about them is that they're an offensive force. They're for going and doing offensive type of work alongside the Draco.
I was doing artwork back in 2000, 2001, which was primarily photo manipulation, but I had a huge break from it, and I really wasn't intending to go back as I had other interests. I was part of a project called Galactic Families back in 2013 with a team of 5 people, and we had this website under the same name where we had gathered information about various ET species, mostly based on channelings of Daryl Anka, Lisa Royal, Rob Gauthier, Sean Swanson, and some other people as well. And we had a friend who was channeling portraits of ETs for our project, and eventually for other people, portraits of their ET lifetimes or hybrid children or oversoul counterparts. So that's where I realized my greatest excitement is exploring all these different beings and consciousnesses and learning as much as I can about them, preparing for open contact, but also experiencing telepathic contact within my own consciousness. I was already familiar with the concept of creating our reality and following our joy and integrating all aspects of ourselves in order to raise our vibration. And I was applying it in my life for years. So when the project fell apart and everyone went their own way, I decided to keep it alive, and I started working on my own expanded version, so to speak. This was in early 2015, I think. Yeah. However, I did not have an artist for my website, and I wasn't quite happy with anything out there, even though there are many great artists who are depicting ETs. So I ended up doing it on my own, And when I started playing with that, it kind of exploded and people really liked it. I was posting my, so to speak, experiments on Facebook, and I had a really good feedback. So it really felt like a play to me, and it still does. A few months after that, I started getting paid for doing what I love. People started commissioning me to depict their cosmic family. I've also done a lot of work for channelers, most of them my friends. I was depicting beings they were channeling for years, and that got me a lot of exposure, even though I didn't intend to be an artist at all. Just a few months after that kicked off, I was introduced to Corey's work. And I really don't see this as a career, more like my way of assisting connection to ETs, which is my main excitement and theme in this life, it seems. And I'm happy to help people in remembering their encounters and remind them that they can empower themselves, because they are never alone. None of us are. We're all connected, learning from each other, humans and ETs alike. And if I can somehow get that through, whether it's a visual artwork or any other means, I feel like I'm contributing to a bigger vision. I feel like I'm being of service in a greater way than just, tending to my personal bubble reality.
Yeah, my mother was an artist, and well, she still is. She's not as active in it now. It's hard for her to do it, but she's always been a huge inspiration for me. And I remember as a child watching her paint, and the process just was fascinating. And so, yeah, it was a natural development from childhood. In high school, I really got into it and learning everything that I could about it. And I've been doing it ever since. I've had my hands in both digital artwork and traditional paintings, both pastels and oils. So, and I am actually combining the two these days. I'll start with a digital sketch of a painting and I'll refine it. And it's a very efficient process for me to get to the image that I'm looking for and striving for. And then I will start with the actual physical painting. But I will be doing actually more and more digital work as time goes on. It's just so versatile. There's so much that can be done with this process that I'm excited about. And I could say something that would be blasphemous to some artists, because art is extremely powerful. And too much negativity, too much ugliness has been not only taught in schools, but promoted in the art industry. And I think that has had a huge impact on our society and the world, because, like I say, our art is powerful. And I think that in this day and age, we need to be very careful about what we're putting out there.
Well, I've been drawing ever since I can remember. I remember it started back with drawing huge stick figure battles that were really elaborate, and it just progressed after that. Career-wise, I've kind of always wanted to be a concept artist in character design, but lately, after personal experiences, I would actually like to contribute a lot of my work to things of like what I'm doing now with Gaia and helping out Corey and kind of trying to visualize a new world. I feel is very important.
I was contacted by an higher density ET group that has now been known as the Blue Avians. They're 8 feet tall. They look very bird-like. They're blue to indigo in color with feathers. As they speak, when they speak, they do a sign language or motion with one hand, and then they move their mouth around, and then they communicate telepathically. They've been here for quite some time. They've been observing, but they're here we're moving into a part of the galaxy that is a very high energetic part of the galaxy that's going to change the density of our solar system and our local star cluster. We're going to go through a transformational experience that is going to change us on a consciousness level mainly. I don't know if it's going to happen to everyone at once, or if there's some people that are more spiritually evolved that are going to start showing these signs earlier. I don't have all the answers. I'm not a guru. I really don't have all the answers.
I've got a Wix website. I didn't buy my own domain name yet, but it's called gishdesigns.wixsite.com/home. And then I also have some things on Facebook. I have a Facebook art page, and I have an ArtStation account. And they're all called Daniel Gish or Daniel Gish Art.
I do have a website, arthurherring.com, beginning a new launch on patreon.com. And I think there's a great potential in this. Whether it works or not, we'll just have to wait and see. But it's a place where people can contribute to Artist Pledge, this tiny amounts over every month. And in return, you get rewards back. You get prints, JPEG imagery without watermarks. You get line art. There's a lot of ideas I'm coming up with, and I'm asking for your help too in ideas and what can make it more valuable to you.
You can find my work on vashta.com, and also my Facebook page, which is called Vashta Narada, is Galactic Art. People can contact me through the website contact form in case they want to commission me for artwork. And other than that, I have a YouTube channel, which is also Vashta Narada, where I have posted channeling sessions that I had with my various channeling friends, where I interviewed different, extraterrestrials about their lives and perspectives. So if somebody wants to check that out, they can do that as well.
Air made it very clear that a very small number of people can act as a rudder for the rest of our collective consciousness, because everyone else is in such disarray that the people like in this community and some others that are awakening and coming together, they have more power in their co-creative abilities than they know. And when 2, 3, 4 people start getting together and focusing on a positive intent, then we are creating that positive future.